What's up guys, today, I explain you Hunter x Hunter 7 reasons you should watch the 1999 anime. Knowing which order to watch one's favorite anime can be pretty confusing, but in the case of Hunter x Hunter, it's extra difficult. That's because, much like Full Metal Alchemist, there are two versions available. The 1999 original and the 2011 remake. To say, there's a lot of debate online about which version is better would be an understatement. Unfortunately, the 1999 version was cancelled pretty quickly, meaning it never got a chance to adapt some of the best Hunter x Hunter arcs. The 2011 remake, on the other hand, is still running. But it looks like there will be a long wait for Season 7, as the anime has almost caught up with the manga, meaning there's not enough material yet for a full season. On the bright side, that means there's never been a better time for fans of the remake to go back and watch the original. A common complaint about a lot of anime is their over-reliance on filler, a criticism often hurled at the 1999 anime. While it is true that the original has a lot more filler arcs than the remake, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Some of these arcs were based on manga content that the remake has cut, while others were completely original, but most of them were of a high quality. The Abandoned Warship arc is a great example. Set around halfway through the Hunter exam, it's a great balance of lighter, funny moments as well as some heavier, emotional ones. In particular, the arc helps to flesh out the relationship between one of Hunter x Hunter's best duos, Killua and Gon. Rather than distracting from the story, the arcs add depth and character development to the original. Since they're missing from the remake, it also means anyone who has watched that first can go back to the original and watch something new. One of the most polarizing things about the 1999 original is its pacing. Compared to the remake, it is much slower, taking 92 episodes to get to the end of the Greed Island arc, whereas the remake has gotten much further in 148 episodes. This slower pace might not be for everyone, but it does come with some benefits. Chief among these is that it allows fans to savor the journey rather than being rushed through it. We'll come to them later, but things like world building, characterization, and character backstories all benefit from this slower pace. For fans of this more old-fashioned, less flashy style of storytelling, the original Hunter x Hunter can feel richer and more satisfying to watch. Hunter x Hunter has a massive cast of awesome characters, but thanks to the remake's speed, they don't always get that much time in the spotlight. In comparison, the 1999 version took the time to highlight individual characters other than Gon and Killua. A great example of this is during the Zoldyck family arc, during which Leorio's superhuman physical strength is emphasized. He manages to open two gates, each weighing 2 tons each. It's a nice moment considering how his power levels and usefulness drop off quickly in later arcs compared to his best friends. The original also did a better job of fleshing out the friendships between the 4 main characters, in particular between Leorio and Kurapika, whereas the remake spends most of its energy on the bond between Gon and Killua. Thanks to its slower pacing, even side characters get their time to shine. The Hunter exam arc has a ton of characters, some of whom get their own filler arcs. Gon is great, but sometimes it's nice to step away and spend some time with the surrounding characters, especially since it helps viewers learn even more about the world of Hunter x Hunter. One of the biggest differences between the two versions of Hunter x Hunter is their tones. Generally speaking, the original tends to be darker, while the remake is usually more upbeat and happier thanks to its brighter colors and animation style. Between the two, however, the original arguably handles the switch from dark to upbeat better. Hunter x Hunter is the kind of anime which can be full of jokes one moment and full of devastating deaths the next. That can lead to some tonal whiplash in the remake, especially in the later arcs, which can get pretty dark. The Chimera Ants, for example. The art and animation style of the original did a much better job of transitioning between hope and despair. The highs in the original feel higher and the lows that much lower. By balancing its tone, the original's emotional storytelling feels much more complex and makes it easier to empathize with the characters. Which version has the better art style is a matter of opinion, but a lot of older fans still prefer the original. The remake benefits from brighter colors and sharper quality thanks to advances in technology, but the original has that classic moody 90 seconds aesthetic that many viewers feel nostalgic for. The original is generally darker, but its use of color, detailed backgrounds, and hand-drawn animation creates a visual charm that a lot of fans feel modern anime lacks. While some scenes can look a little crude, others are downright beautiful. As mentioned earlier, the original art style also does a better job of handling the series' tonal shifts. For the nostalgia alone, the original is worth watching for those who appreciate and miss classic animation. One of the best things about the original was how it expanded on some of the main characters' backstories, giving context to how they behave in the anime. For example, during the Hunter exam, Leorio was exposed to a plant that made him hallucinate. Through his hallucinations, fans learned more about his tragic backstory, in particular the death of a close friend which he feels responsible for. These scenes show viewers how Leorio's sense of guilt drives him and how his loyalty to his friends defines him. Later in the episode, Kurapika is also exposed and is forced to relive the massacre of the Kurta clan. The two characters then share their experience, revealing to each other why it is they want to become hunters, and solidifying their bond. The original anime also showed more of Kite's time on Whale Island and how he first met Gon. These scenes gave fans a much better look at Kite's character and a young Gon than fans got in the remake, and included some important exposition like what a hunter is and the fact Jing is still alive. Compared to its more action-oriented remake, the original Hunter x Hunter feels much more character-driven. There's a lot more to Gon than his unique fighting style, and the original did a better job at portraying it. Whereas the remake will happily drag out a single fight over multiple episodes, the original will finish that same fight in a few minutes, leaving much more time for detailed characterizations. The fight between Kurapika and Uvijin is a pivotal moment in both versions, but the 1999 version focuses much more on its repercussions for Kurapika. After killing Uvijin, he falls to the ground. The psychological impact of killing has taken a huge toll on him. In the following scenes, he's clearly traumatized, refusing to speak to his friends. Likewise, the flashbacks showing Leorio's dying friend are key in fleshing out his character, making his drive to become a doctor feel more personal. This character-driven approach and emphasis on using quieter moments to explore characterizations allows the audience to connect more deeply with the character than they might in the remake.